Hello, Richard Aaron Nunn. I am so excited to do this for you. I am honored that you allowed me to read for you, and we'll see what happens. I'm excited. The first one that we're going to do is the visions and the meditations was what I'm focusing on, and then I'll do a separate video for the anxiety that you asked about. Um, and it's just a message from the universe. I'm gonna give you my little spiel. It's just a message from the universe. Don't take any of it personally. I don't know really anything about your personal life, what you've been through. Nothing I say is judgment. Everything I say comes from love. It tends to be very self-focused. It's questions for you to ask yourself. You don't have to answer me nothing. It's totally for you to step into. If you want clarification, you're welcome to reach out to me. The next thing is I don't get hung up on vocabulary. If you've watched my shows, which I know you've been in a few, I'm not the semantics girl. I don't care what you call it. Use your own terminology. Take it how you want. I'm not saying anything is the right or the wrong way to do. However you do spiritually and in your personal life. Yeah, I guess that's it. So I'm going to start off with the runes and ask a message from the universe for Richard Aaron Nunn about the visions in his meditations. All right, that is Gibo. And like I said, I'm not semantics, whatever. This is the rune of partnership. So this is the rune of, let me see, I'm trying a new filming rig. So let me know if this is bright enough, loud enough, all that kind of stuff. This is the rune of a partnership, of a gift. And so they're basically saying it's a gift. Now, when I use the runes, when I use any deck, I like to honor what the person who created what I learned on, how I learned, what their aspect of it is. So I always do like to read the book and take it how you will. But so, here's the thing with my readings. If something stands out to you, pay attention. Make a note. If something, some word I use, some phrase I use, some picture, some line in here calls to you, just make a note of it. Write it down. Do something so you can use it at a future time, because it's a message from the universe. I don't understand what's coming through. I'm just doing the thing. So you're the one who makes all the connections in your own personal life of how all this stuff fits together. So just take note of the stuff that stands out. So I'm going to read a little bit of this. I do the same thing. I'm going to read a little bit of this about this rune, Gibo, a partnership, a gift. It's an indication that a partnership of some form is at hand. In love, you are put on notice not to collapse yourself into that union. True partnership is achieved only by separate and whole beings who retain their separateness even as they unite. Remember to let the winds of heaven dance between you. At the same time, there is another aspect of partnership that you are called to consider. For the path of partnership can lead you to the realization of a still greater union with higher self, that union with the divine, and that is the ultimate gift of this rune, is the realization of the divine in all things and God into all equal partnerships. It has no reverse because it signifies the gift of freedom from which flow all other gifts. So that's the overall energy of this reading about your visions and meditations. I love that. And we're going to jump in and do a little baseline reading here. And then I pulled some decks. I asked what decks to use and was drawn to particular decks for you. And we'll just let all of this roll out the way it's going to roll out. I hope all is well in your world. And meditations. Yes, I'm a singer. Yes, I sing things. Don't be put off by my mannerisms. It's just me, Lee. All right, let's put our little rune over here. What is the overall energy in this message from the universe for Richard Aaron Nunn about his visions? what is the challenge? What is the challenge? Oh, okay. All right. I see you. You saw that jump out, right? That like flew onto the camera, onto the little spot there. That's funny. Okay. What is the obstacle? Okay. What is the obstacle? How can they overcome this? Okay. And some overall advice for Richard. Okay. And we're going to put him face up there. I want this to show. Okay, so this was the bottom of the deck energy. I'm going to pull that out and put that aside. And we're going to talk about that as part of this, but I got a couple more cards to draw here. Okay, what doesn't Richard know that he needs to know? Okay, and what is the possible outcome of these visions, meditations, this Gibo, the gift? Okay. Set this down over here, and we will take a look at this as it stands right now. So when we pulled Gibo as the overall energy of the reading, and the cards that represent the overall energy, we have the Ace of Oysters, which oysters are pentacles. And then we had the Hermit, which came out reversed, and they nudged me to turn it upright because it's about the working on self that has been done and focused outwards is now released. That it's time to, it's time to wake up. It's time to come out of the shell because the universe is offering pentacles, okay? So this is the overall energy of this. And pentacles, oysters, would represent not just necessarily financial gain, but, a fulfillment in any way, abundance in any way, of love, of, all the suits, basically. The pentacles are kind of the most steady but slow moving energy. And, but moving is the key, is the key to it, not moving physically, but the energy flow. Pentacles really are about the flow of energy. Then I asked what the obstacles are. And for that, we got the King of Oysters, which is the King of Pentacles, and the Nine of Peppermills, which is the Nine of Wands. So the King of Oysters is the King of Pentacles. It's a very steady energy. It's a very slow-moving energy, but it encompasses more of the other suits in the masculine than the others. It lacks a little bit of emotional connection, a little bit, but there's so much fulfillment in this. So this is the challenge: is this energy of focusing so much on the oysters that the personal slips to the side. And the Nine of Peppermills is the Nine of Wands. And the Nine of Wands is kind of like the defensive shield. When the wands, the journey of the tarot is like a progression through our own spiritual journey. And looking at the Nine of Wands specifically is that last barrier before you let down your burden. 10 of Wands is like letting go of the final thing, which you got in this over here. Tens are the end of a journey, like the end of a painful cycle, at which point you choose to go into a new phase of your life or to jump back into the karmic loop again if you didn't learn your lesson, and you make the same choice again. So this Nine of Wands is about lowering the defenses a little bit which can, when you have your defenses up, you can tend to be cold about when it comes to getting, when it comes to that coin, so to that abundance. Take it as you will. I don't know you personally. Again, this is what I'm saying. But also, you saw the magician jump out. The magician is able to use all of the suits. He's able to use the oysters, the peppermills, the flamingos, and the hats. And he's the manifester. He is the powerful manifester of the group. And you saw that pop out, showing you that, to me, what this is saying is that this obstacle is, if you focus on those emotions, or if you focus on the worries, that you're creating more of that, and that you are literally, offered this thing. And one of the reasons that I say that is because on the bottom of the deck, we had the Four of Oysters in your visions and meditations. And the Four of Oysters is kind of the miser. And he, as the miser, tends to hold on a little too tightly to his money, and yells at the kids that walk on his lawn because he buried, 10 jars of, his treasures in the backyard. And he doesn't really, want to share. But when we do that emotionally, or when we do that with our money, or when we do that with our energy, we actually stop the flow of abundance. So 4 is a space where we are stopping that flow of abundance. We're creating an imbalance in ourselves because of how much we love our little pentacles, and we want them all to ourselves. So that's kind of an overall energy, which is an interesting duality with this partnership rune in your visions and your meditations, that you have something where these two, you're loving this partnership, but you're neglecting this partnership. Okay, so take it as you will. So how do we overcome that? How do we overcome that? And what came out is the 3 of flamingos. Okay. Then we had the 7 of peppermills, which is a 7 of wands. But in this deck, and I do try to honor what the creator, the artist, how they intended it. In this deck, the 7 of wands is about holding the high ground, having confidence, not recognizing that you had the win, which 6 of wands is victory, and just kind of sitting in that energy. There's no need to, to continue fighting in that moment. And the 3 of peppermills reverse. Now, 3 of wands is kind of like looking out into the distance and seeing your ship come in. And reversed, I want to look up exactly what her meaning was. What I'm seeing is that it is like this heartbreak and looking out on your future. I don't know. This is a really weird energy with this, how to overcome this. All right, let me look up exactly what she's doing this, because it's something about using your heartbreak to actually change how the ships come in, how your ships come in, to use the experience of going through heartbreak to shift how you see your future. Okay, to shift how you see your future. You've always seen it like this, and now there's some kind of heartbreak that healing this through confidence, through strength. I'm going to read you the description on this, because I think there's words that you need to hear. Is what's going to help you to see your future in a different way. And let me grab the little book, the little booklet. Let me see here now. Peppermills. There we go. 7 of peppermills. King of the hill, a brave person facing incredible odds. Business or competition, debate, success, victory. Reverse, meaning you don't have the reverse meaning, but reverse is anxiety, being unsure of one's position, hesitancy to the point of loss, embarrassment, and hard failure. So this is interesting because there's a duality in this energy so much with these visions. and with what you're stepping into. And I think that's why the magician is popped out right before I did this line, because you're really going to be creating your own experience by how you heal from some sort of heartbreak or heartache that you're going to be going through. And that probably ties back into this energy of the Gibo, separate but whole, and whatever is going on. I don't know you, so you take it as you will. And then we have here at the bottom um, the possible outcome, the Ace of Flamingos, or some advice, the Ace of Flamingos and the Four of Hats reversed, both of these. So a possible outcome, Ace of Flamingos is the sword of truth. The Ace of Flamingos is the sword of truth. It did come out in a way that is reversed. And it's right here with the Four of Cups reversed. Now, the Four of Cups is about rejecting what the divine is offering you. That's how I see it, because you have these down here, and this cup of love is being offered to you by divine, but you're rejecting it when it's upright. To me, when it's turned this way, you are going to accept the love of divine, accept what divine is giving you in this hat, in this cup of love, in this hat, by shifting your perspective of what truth is, of how truth exists. And that's connected to this healing of the Three of Swords in this energy. If you will excuse me for just one moment, I'm going to go to the next part in part 2 of this Visions and Meditations, because I want to make sure that the that the whole thing records. So I'm having a little bit of issue on how long the upload is to YouTube. So I'm going to do it in a smaller way. It's going to go to a private or an unlisted link. And if you want to go there and then download it and tell me to get rid of it, you can do that. I'm not giving anyone else the link for it. You're the only one who has it, and that's the only way it can be found. So, okay, so thank you so much, and I'll see you in part 2.